This is the Salomon S Ultra Glide. This one isn't your typical S-Lab running shoe from Salomon then. Why? Well, it's not tuned for high speed and fast and light movement through the mountains like most S-Lab running shoes are. No, this one focuses more on comfort, cushioning and support, but it does it the S-Lab way. So it really is an all-mountain trail running shoe built for long distances or ultra running. So if that sounds like the sort of running you like to do, you're going to want to hear about this one. Let's start with the key specifications. They cost $250. I'll let you know at the end of this review if I believe they provide value for that high price tag. They weigh 10.6 ounces or 301 grams for a size US men's 9 pair. They have a 6mm drop from heel to toe. That's 41mm under the heel and 35mm under the toe. The upper's got a lot going on. It's got a nice synthetic durable mesh material wrapping all the way around it. It's got a gusseted tongue, which means the tongue connects to the top of the midsole, which creates a really nice sock-like fit. And it means there's no rubbing points in there either, so you're unlikely to get blisters. And another benefit is it does keep any trail debris out or away from your feet. So even if they get in, they get stuck in the gusseted part of the tongue and doesn't directly contact your feet. And of course, there's Salomon's quick lace system, which is awesome. You just zip it up or cinch it up like so, and then you can tuck it away inside the little garage on the tongue. That keeps the laces out of the way, means they don't flap around and they won't get snagged on the trail. The midsole is using a two-part foam system, one being energy foam, and that is the one that wraps mostly all the way around the shoe, this really high wall section here, and that's using EVA foam. And then you've got the Energy Foam Plus, which is the foam in the core of the shoe. You can actually see a little bit of it at the rear. And that's actually made from Apiba foam. And what that does is give the shoe incredible longevity in terms of how responsive and how much bounce back it gives over time. So that bounciness won't fade as quickly as some other foams like EVA, for example. And that's why they put it in the core, to give you the most amount of comfort under your foot. The outsole is using all-terrain contour grip with relieve sphere geometry. And that is what these kind of divots are under here. Very unusual. Never seen this before on a running shoe. And at first I was a little bit concerned seeing these dips or troughs and peaks on the outsole, thinking that actually it might cause instability on technical trails, but actually it didn't. More on that in my performance review. And then a couple of additional features are the fact it has got extra support, and that comes from these incredibly high wraparound walls of foam. That basically cradles your foot and gives you nice support and stability within the shoe. Works really well. And it's got a rocker geometry, which you can see gives you a nice efficient ride when you're running because you don't get any of those sharp jolts. A rocker kicks in and you get a really smooth transition throughout the stride. When it comes to sizing and fit, the S-Lab Ultra Glide is very much true to size, but unlike most Salomon running shoes, this is actually quite wide in the toe box. There's a nice bit of volume in there, so if you do have wider feet, you're actually going to appreciate that and you might actually get to run in Salomon shoes at last. So I highly recommend you give them a go if you do have slightly wider feet, because I think you might enjoy these. Overall, the comfort of the fit is really good. You get a really nice solid heel lockdown because of this great lacing system and gusseted tongue. It almost feels like a one-piece upper, even though it's not. But one thing I will say, and something to be aware of, is this section down here does bunch a little bit. It's a little bit odd. It kind of just bunches forward, and I did feel a little bit pressure on the top of my toes, or where my toes flex. I'm not sure what the technical anatomical term for that would be, but at that point of my foot, I did feel some pressure from the rumpling of the upper. Now, this did kind of go away after running in them. It kind of broke in and just felt much more comfortable over time. But it's something you're probably going to notice as well when you first step into them. So just be aware, it's not going to be forever. Just break them in and I think it will be worth it for you. If you're enjoying this review so far, please give the video a like, share it with a friend if you think they'll find it interesting too, and comment on this video. I really appreciate it when you guys do that. It's nice to know you're watching, you're engaged, you're actually enjoying the content I put out. And it's good to get to know you guys. It's nice to know who's watching. Let me know what your name is, where you're from, what kind of running you like to do. You're a trail runner, road runner? Do you do both? What other interests do you have? Let's get the conversation going down in those comments. And make sure you subscribe to the channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. I always keep things genuine, honest, and as insightful as possible to let you know whether the shoe I'm currently reviewing is going to be good for you and your needs. But if at any point you got a question, let me know in the comments down below and I'll get back to you. And remember, I'm not just on YouTube. I do have a very active blog called alistairrunning.com. On there I write about all things running. I've got a very curious mind that never switches off and I'm always asking questions. And then I go do the research, I go put in the time, I get experience, first-hand experience, and I write about those things. So I think you'll find it fun, interesting, and if you're a runner who just loves running and thinks about stuff when you're running, you're going to enjoy that content. So head over there, make sure you subscribe, that'll unlock some extra content for you. And yeah, I put out content all the time, so you're never going to get bored. And I'm also on Instagram, alistair.running. Make sure you find me, follow me, and say hello. On there, you'll get a little behind the scenes look at what I get up to, my training. You'll get to meet my family, my dog, my 2-year-old son, and my wife, Helen. So definitely go on there, follow me, say hello, and get the conversation going. Congrats, you made it to my performance review, my favorite part of every review. First off then, the shoe does need some braking. It's gonna need probably about 5 miles, that's what it was for me. And that will give you a nice, softer ride in terms of how the energy foam plus kind of responds and springs back as you run. Really 5 miles isn't that long and it's definitely worth it, so I would stick with this shoe. That break-in period does translate over to the upper as well. Generally, the upper fits absolutely incredibly, but there was that point over the top of my toes, or the midsection here, where it kind of rumples up the two types of material, this neoprene or whatever you want to call it, and the synthetic mesh, where they join, it just rumples a little. And I wasn't able to fix that. The only way it was fixed was just by breaking it in and softening it up. And eventually it didn't really become anything I noticed. So something to be aware of, just stick with it if you do feel that, if you've bought these shoes and you're thinking, what? I bought these shoes for $250, they should be amazing. So if that sounds like you, or you're suffering from that issue, don't worry, break them in, you'll be fine. Now the shoes perform really well on a variety of trails, and also whether you're running up steep inclines or steep declines. They perform really well in all scenarios, and that's really what they're designed to do. I wouldn't expect anything less from an S-Lab trail running shoe. So they're an all-mountain shoe. They're not the fastest shoe out there, so if you are looking for a trail running shoe to maybe run a half marathon, maybe you're a really fast trail marathon runner, and you want a shoe just to absolutely blitz that race, you could do it in this shoe, and I think a lot of people will. There are faster trail racing shoes out there for you. This is more a shoe for anyone who wants to compete or just complete an ultra marathon pretty quickly. It's not a fastest shoe is what I'm trying to say, but for most people, you're going to prefer the comfort, cushioning and support over speed, especially if you're running an ultra marathon, because most people don't run ultra marathons to actually win. They actually just want to complete the race and feel like they did something amazing, completed one of the hardest challenges in their lives. And let's face it, ultra running is hard and it takes a long time to complete many races. So having a nice, comfortable, supportive, cushioned running shoe is really one of the most important things when it comes to ultra running for most people. And this one does that really well. It's got the S-Lab quality and premium build quality to it. And it has all those properties and performs as you'd expect from Salomon. So with that said, it's not the lightest trail racing or trail running shoe either. But what I like about it is it's incredibly durable and very versatile and comfortable. And to clear the confusion here, sometimes I'm referring to the S-Lab Ultra Glide as a racing shoe. It's really a crossover shoe, and that's another good thing to think about, is the fact it's a really good training shoe, but you can use it for ultra race day as well. You don't have to have a specific trail racing shoe when you've got this. Just know if you want to run as fast as you can, maybe you've got a half marathon trail race, you're probably going to want a lighter, more nimble trail running shoe for that race. In which case, head over to my best trail racing shoes roundup up there. That'll get you hooked up with the best trail racing shoe for that kind of running. But for ultra runners, anyone who needs to run long distances, you want to be looking at something like this or the La Sportiva Prodigio Pro. If you're not familiar with that shoe, definitely watch my video review of that one next. Very similar in terms of what they're both capable of, but there's plenty of differences to learn about and get my thoughts on which one I think is best for certain circumstances. When it comes to breathability, it's pretty good. Not the most breathable trail running shoe by any means, but when it comes to breathability in trail racing or trail running, really I want a shoe to be more breathable for a few reasons. If I'm running at really high intensity, so maybe I'm doing a sky running race, running up a mountain and back down the other side or back down the way I came, then I want a really breathable shoe for that because my feet are going to get really hot. Ultra running and many ultra runners, yes, you're going to be running, you're going to be doing a lot of repetitive strides and that's going to build up friction and heat within the shoe, but it's at less of an intensity so your feet aren't going to get quite as hot. But there's another reason you might want high breathability, and that is if you are going to be doing river crossings, maybe you've got wet conditions and you need the shoe to be able to drain off quickly after doing that river crossing or the shoe getting wet. A highly breathable shoe will drain through and then the water can evaporate nice and easily. If it's not that durable, water's going to just get absorbed in the upper and it's going to get locked inside the shoe, making your feet even hotter and give you all sorts of blisters and trouble inside the shoe. So things to think about with a shoe that's not incredibly breathable. If you see a puddle on the trails, you might want to hop over it or go around it in this shoe. When it comes to outsole traction, it's fantastic. It's using all-terrain contour grip from Salomon, which is brilliant. You shouldn't get many slippages here. The lugs are actually nice and aggressive and sharp on the edges as well, so it does claw into the trails. And this relief sphere thing that's going on here with these divots actually sheds mud really well as well. And I was thinking it might give me some instability on technical trails because it is kind of wavy or high frequency on the bottom. I wasn't sure what that was going to do, but actually I didn't notice it. Well, thanks for sticking with me. I had a lot to cover in this review on the S-Lab Ultra Glide. It's a fantastic shoe, but there's a lot of innovation and tech going into it. And I wanted to describe it and explain it as best I could. And hopefully it's a little bit clearer in your mind now what this shoe is all about and who's going to be best for. So is it worth $250? That's a lot of money for an all-mountain trail running shoe. Yes, I guess it's a racing shoe as well. So that makes it a little bit better and better value for money because you can use it for racing very easily as well as training. But there are other really good all-mountain trail running shoes that do the same kind of thing as this one for less money. So it's really going to be a matter of Do you love Salomon? Are you a fan of the S-Lab range? I am, by the way, absolutely love them. I've been using S-Lab trail running shoes for many years now and absolutely love what comes out of there. There's always innovation going on and they're generally really lightweight and fun to run in. This one's no exception. It's not lightweight, but there's loads of innovation and it's a fantastic performer. I also like the look of it. What do you reckon? Every time I see it, I think Pac-Man Ghost. Is that just me? Let me know in the comments. So really, if you love Salomon and the S-Lab range, you like how it looks, I think $250, it is going to be worth it for those people. Like I said, check out La Sportiva Prodigio Pro. It's less money and does the same kind of thing just as well. But I do love how this looks and it performs admirably for ultra running, whereas the Prodigio Pro is a little bit lighter, a little bit more nimble, which makes it better maybe for the shorter distances, even though it can step into ultra running no problem. So the range of this shoe definitely extends further in distance. On the spectrum, the Prodigio Pro from the Sportiva kind of sits a little bit lower on that end in terms of distance, but it's a faster shoe. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, just drop me a comment, ask your specific question and I'll get back to you. Well, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this Salomon S-Lab Ultra Glide review. If you did, please give the video a like, share it with a friend and comment on this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. And I'll see you on the next review. Thanks for watching. Peace.